I'm out in my front yard, dirt under my nails, sweat on my brow, arranging a little flower stand with marigolds and daisies. I grew myself my pride and joy. You know, when Karen from the HOA storms up, her clipboard practically glued to her chest, and slaps me with a $200 fine for unauthorized commercial activity. Yeah, you heard that right. My little flower stand, which I set up for fun to share with neighbors, was suddenly a threat to the sacred HOA bylaws. I'm standing there, holding a pot of lavender, thinking, lady, you're kidding me. Right. But no, she wasn't. That was the moment I decided if they wanted to play dirty, I'd play dirtier, way dirtier. I moved into this neighborhood, Sunny Hills. Nice place. Picket fences. The whole suburban dream about 2 years ago. I'm a single mom. Got a 10-year-old daughter, Lily, who loves gardening as much as I do. We'd spend weekends planting, pruning, laughing, turning our backyard into this explosion of color roses, sunflowers, zinnias, you name it. I'd give away extra blooms to neighbors, leave little bouquets on doorsteps, just to spread some joy. You know what I mean? People loved it. Old Mrs. Jenkins across the street said my flowers made her feel young again. So, one day, I thought, why not set up a little stand? Nothing fancy, just a folding table, a handwritten sign that said, "Free flowers." Take one and maybe a tip jar for folks who wanted to chip in for seeds. It wasn't about money, it was about community, about sharing something beautiful. Enter Karen. Oh, Karen? She's the HOA president. The kind of person who measures your grass with a ruler and sends you a violation notice if it's half an inch too long. I swear she wakes up every morning dreaming of new ways to make everyone's life miserable. She's got this perm that looks like it's been shellacked into place since 1985, and her voice, God. It's like a megaphone stuck on condescending. She'd been eyeing my flower stand for weeks, sniffing around like a bloodhound, but I didn't think much of it. Until that day she marched over, her heels clicking on the sidewalk like tiny gunshots, and handed me that fine. This is a residential zone. Jessica, she said, smirking like she'd just won a Nobel Prize for pettiness. Your little stand is a violation of Article 7, Section 4.2. Pay up or take it down. I tried to explain it was just for fun, not a business. But she cut me off. Rules are rules. And then she walked away, leaving me standing there, my daughter peeking out from behind the front door. Confused. I was pissed, fuming. Actually, but I paid the fine. What choice did I have? I took down the stand. Told Lily we'd just keep the flowers in the backyard for now. But every time I looked at those blooms, I felt this knot in my stomach. It wasn't just about the money. It was the principle. You know, Karen and her HOA cronies thought they could bully me into submission, make me feel small in my own home. I kept thinking about Lily, how her face lit up when people took our flowers, how she'd run out to help wrap them in tissue paper. No way was I letting Karen steal that from us. That's when the idea hit me, a big, ridiculous, glorious idea. If they thought my little flower stand was commercial activity, I'd give them commercial activity they couldn't ignore. I spent the next week planning. I called up my cousin Mike, who runs a food truck downtown, and he was all in. Jess, You want to stick it to the HOA, I'm your guy, he said, laughing. I roped in my friend Sarah, who makes these amazing homemade jams, and Tom, this grizzled old guy from the community garden who grows the best heirloom tomatoes you've ever tasted. The plan: turn my backyard into a full-blown weekend farmer's market. Not just flowers, oh no. We were going big produce, baked goods, crafts, the works. I checked the city ordinances. Yep, totally legal as long as it was on my property and didn't block the street. The HOA could fine me for a flower stand in my front yard, but they couldn't touch my backyard. Checkmate. Karen. The first twist came when I posted about it on the neighborhood Facebook group. I kept it sweet. You know, hey neighbors, come by my place this Saturday for a little backyard market. Flowers, veggies, jams, and more. Bring your friends. I didn't mention the HOA or the fine. But word spreads fast in Sunny Hills. By Friday, I had people messaging me, saying they were coming just to spite Karen. Apparently, I wasn't the only one she'd been terrorizing. There was this guy, Dave, who got fined for painting his mailbox blue, and a mom named Priya who got a violation for her kid's basketball hoop. The market was starting to feel like a rebellion, and I was here for it. Saturday morning, we set up. My backyard looked like something out of a Pinterest board string lights. Wooden crates overflowing with flowers. Sarah's jams in cute little jars. Mike's food truck parked in the driveway slinging tacos. Tom had his tomatoes stacked like they were auditioning for a cooking show. I even got Lily to make a big sign: Sunny Hills Market Support Local. People started showing up, first a trickle, then a flood. Neighbors I'd never met brought their kids, their dogs, their reusable tote bags. It was chaos. Beautiful chaos. Lily was running around, handing out free sunflowers, her smile bigger than the sun. I was in my element, chatting with folks, selling bouquets, feeling like I was finally sticking it to the system. Then, around noon, Karen showed up. Oh, you should have seen her face, red as a beet, eyes practically popping out of her head. She stood at the edge of my driveway, clipboard in hand, looking like she was about to spontaneously combust. "Jessica," she barked, storming toward me. "This is unacceptable. You're running a business on residential property." I just smiled, sweet as pie, and said, "Karen, this is my backyard. Private property. City says it's fine. Want to see the permit?" I didn't actually have a permit, because I didn't need one. But the bluff worked. She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again like a fish gasping for air. Then she sputtered, "This isn't over," and stomped off. The crowd cheered. Yeah, that happened. But here's the second twist, the one I didn't see coming. That afternoon, a guy showed up mid-40s, wearing a polo shirt and a nervous smile. He introduced himself as Greg, Karen's husband. I braced myself for another lecture. But instead, he leaned in and whispered, "I'm so sorry about her. She's intense. I love your flowers. By the way, can I buy a bouquet for our dining room? I almost fell over." Here was Karen's own husband, sneaking behind her back to support my market. I gave him the biggest bouquet of sunflowers I had on the house, and he slipped away before Karen could catch him. That moment, pure gold. It was like the universe was winking at me, saying, "You got this." The market became a weekly thing. Every Saturday, My backyard turned into this buzzing, colorful hub. People brought their own stuff to sell handmade candles, fresh eggs, even some kid selling lemonade. Karen tried to fight it, sent me a few more violation notices, but they didn't stick. City Hall backed me up. Turns out, the mayor's wife loved my roses. The HOA meetings got quieter after that, and I heard Karen was on thin ice with the board. Apparently, her little power trip had pissed off enough people that they were talking about voting her out. I didn't need to lift a finger. She was imploding on her own. By the end of summer, the market was the talk of Sunny Hills. Lily and I were closer than ever, and I felt like I'd taken back something Karen tried to steal: my joy, my home, my community. The final scene. Picture me and Lily, sitting on our porch at sunset, the market winding down, string lights glowing, laughter in the air. I'm sipping a lemonade. She's got dirt smudged on her cheek, and we're watching the last customers leave with armfuls of flowers. It's peaceful, triumphant, like we'd won a war without firing a shot. But here's the thing. I heard Karen's planning something new. Some big HOA rule change to shut us down for good. I'm not worried, though. Let her try. So, what do you think? Was I wrong to turn my backyard into a market just to spite the HOA? Or was this justice? Plain and simple. Drop your thoughts. I want to hear if you're Team Jessica or if you think I went too far. Share your own HOA horror stories, Let's get this conversation going. At this. The end.